Hey everybody, welcome back to another Judgment commentary, but today I'm going to be checking out To Your Eternity, also known by its Japanese name, Fumetsu no Anata e. Now this reaction was commissioned over on Patreon by one Moo Cookie, known previously for commissioning the reactions to Land of the Lustrous, but for this month they wanted me to check out this, To Your Eternity. Now, I had never heard of To Your Eternity before this, and there's a reason for that, and that reason is that this anime just friggin' started only a few months ago back in April, so it's a new anime for the season, which is cool. I don't get to check out a lot of brand new anime on the channel, so this should definitely be interesting. Now, judging by its score and ranking on my anime list, it seems to be doing pretty well at the moment. Seems to be doing pretty good overall with an 8.62 score, but not everyone seems to be taking to it too kindly. I haven't read any reviews of it. I was just scanning through to see what the scores are like. And from what I saw, definitely seems to be a you love it or you hate it type of anime, because the people who like it generally give it like a 9 or a 10. And then I've seen most of the people who don't like it give it like a 2 or a 3. So, wow, there's a bit of a discrepancy there. Now, from what I've read of the synopsis, it seems to at least have a pretty cool concept, and hey, it's an adventure shonen series, judging by the way it's been described, so that's my kind of thing. But hey, enough rambling, let's just get into it here, starting with episode 1, and then moving on through episode 3. Now, I usually do 4 episodes with these commissions, but Moo Cookie requested that I either do 3 episodes or 5 episodes, because he said it's stopping before episode 5, and then having to wait a month would be bad. So for now, I'll just do 3 this month and then 5 for the next month to make up for it. But enough about that, let's just see what this show has to offer. Can you imagine him taking the form of that bear to fight things? He'd be unkillable, even as the wolf. He could just wipe the floor with that thing, just by nibbling at its nose. With that bear body and being unable to take damage, who could stand in your way? Dang, we may be witnessing potentially one of the most overpowered characters just ever, because the more he dies, the more resilient to death he becomes, to the point where he was taking those bear slashes and they were healing instantly, almost as if they didn't happen at all. But I guess that's less the point. It's more focused on his emotional growth, rather than his physical growth in the grand scheme of things, I imagine. I mean, sure, there's a lot of emphasis on him getting stronger right now, but at its core, I think it's about him learning to be human, to grow and gain those emotional experiences. That's what he's missing. Sure, he can look like a human, but he's not thinking like one, not feeling like one fully yet, but he's definitely getting there. It was that which drove him to protect them, and at the end, he even thanked them. He took her lesson to heart and said, "Arigato." Honestly, these 3 episodes were pretty dang fantastic. A great start to this series. I mean, it hooked me pretty quick. I mean, I liked the concept, you know, like you just got this god being who put this orb on the earth, and that orb just takes the shape of whatever it touches. And it's just been around for a long time, just taking in the scenery until it eventually ended up having a chance encounter with a living being, in that case, the first one being a wolf. And the wolf died, took the form, and then it found its way back to its original human owner, and then the despair started to kick in, because that poor kid, it was terrible. I mean, everyone else in his village left to try to find a better place, because they were all locked away in Snowland, where under those harsh circumstances, living was not going to be easy. But he had to be left alone with only the old people, I think. I think maybe there were even, did he say there were? No, there were no kids left. They took all the kids with them and left him with the old people who couldn't make it. And yet, He was brightly optimistic the entire time, all the way up until all hope was lost, until literally everything was extinguished. Then he broke down and became vulnerable a little bit. Man, that hurt. That hurt. He was so optimistic the entire time, and I was rooting for him. I wanted him to be able to find their path and see where they ended up, but apparently they didn't make it. Or at least, most of them didn't. It's unclear if some of them survived and made it out there, but it's unlikely, given that they crossed off the arrow on the stone. But given that the stone was there at all, that would mean somebody placed it and kept going, right? But then somebody else decided to cross it off saying, don't go, because you'll die. And heck, talking about his optimism, he was even a little optimistic after he had gotten back and he was on death's door. Because he was like, don't worry, once I recover, we'll be right back out there and we'll try again. But it became apparent pretty quick that that wasn't gonna happen. And Fuchan, I guess is what I'm gonna be calling him here, he definitely seemed to feel something when the unnamed human died. You know, it's like, it's always that sad type of scene where they're dead and they're just pulling on him, trying to get him to get back up, and they just don't. But, heartbreaking. But now, thanks to this rambunctious child, he's starting to get a little bit more of the human experience. The other guy didn't teach him too much. All he taught him how to do was eat. That was all he gave him. He didn't even teach him how to get food. All he taught him how to do was consume it, which didn't help him very much. He starved to death probably several times before he ended up dying by other various things, like getting crushed by rocks and smashed by bears. But now he's learned appreciation and fighting to defend those that you care about. Very important elements of humanity. As far as I'm concerned, this is a very charming series so far, with a cool premise, and it's had some fun with the characters. They've introduced them and given them very compelling personalities, to the point where you can have empathy for them shockingly quickly, or at least I was able to. I was able to have empathy for that first guy pretty fast, just because his situation, as it began to roll out, you saw just how hopeless and terrible it was, and yet he still had hope and faith, and marched on anyway, all the way up until he literally couldn't anymore. And then we were introduced to a different kind of situation involving dogma and attachment to customs that, as far as they were concerned, definitely, even they didn't seem to think they made sense. They were just doing it because that's just the way things were. They were gonna cast an innocent child's life aside, all in the name of a god that they didn't think existed. Pretty rough stuff, but hey, we'll see how Fuchan's... am I gonna keep calling him that, or can I call him something else? I don't know. We'll see how his development continues. This is clearly centered around his progression and his blossoming humanity, so to speak. And honestly, I want to see how that goes. I definitely do. But hey, as per the deal, there will be 5 next time. It'll be episodes 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can make up for the difference. And honestly, I'm down to check out 5 of them in one video. Heck, if I could, I'd watch the 4th one right now, but I've got other stuff that needs to be done. But enough chit chat. That's it for now, guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed, and subscribe to be updated on more. That would be great. I hope you guys enjoyed these little reactions to Your Eternity. And sorry if that third reaction at the end here was a little bit off from the other ones. I recorded it separately from the first 2. I didn't have time to record them all even in one night. That's a little time I've got these days. So if you noticed a difference, that's why. But honestly, To Your Eternity definitely seems like a really cool thing. It's been executed well so far, and I can safely say that I've been enjoying the heck out of it. So for now, that's it, and I hope to catch you guys next time. But till then, I will see you guys all later.